Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. If you are an NRI and are interested in investing in Indian markets, then this video will help you in opening an NRI trading account. And I have not only done the research in understanding the NRI trading process, but I have also opened an NRI trading account. And today I trade using the same account. So in this video, we'll have a look at what NRI is, the trading process using an NRI account, and how to open an account. Also, the cost of trading with different brokers as an NRI. And at the end, I'll also share with you the challenges that I have faced to open an NRI trading account. So let's get started. Who is an NRI? An NRI, non-resident Indian, is a person who is staying away from India for work or migrated to a different country. Also, if a person is born to Indian origin parents outside of India, can also be considered as an NRI. In order to be considered an NRI, you should have stayed outside of India for at least 182 days in that financial year, which is 1st of April to 31st of March. Or you should be outside of India at least 365 days during the last 4 years and at least 60 days in this year. Of course, there are few exceptions to this definition. For instance, if you are an employee or a crew of Indian merchant ship, in such situation, 60 days is replaced by 182 days. So now that we know who an NRI is, I want to directly jump into talking about the process of trading as an NRI. And then I will explain in detail the accounts involved during this process. In order for me to buy shares in NSE or BSE, first I have to transfer money from my onshore account into an NRE or NRO account. From this account, again I have to transfer money into a PIS account. PIS account is the account that is linked up with your broker. So every day morning before the trade session starts, the broker will be notified of the funds that are available in my PIS account. So when I buy shares, the amount and the costs are notified back to my bank and the amount is deducted from my PIS account. Let's run through a simple example here. I have an onshore account that has a capital of $25,000. Now I want to transfer $20,000 into my NRE or NRO account. So this roughly translates to around 10 lakh rupees. Now that I have 10 lakh rupees in my NRE or NRO account, I again have to transfer certain amount of money into my PIS account. So in here, I decide to transfer around 5 lakh rupees into my PIS account. As the money gets deposited into my PIS account, the broker is notified of the balance available in my PIS account. So the available capital in my trading platform will be 5 lakhs. Now that there are enough funds in my broker account, I should be able to go and purchase any of the shares that I want to. I have decided to buy shares worth 2 lakh rupees. Once I have purchased shares of worth 2 lakh rupees, my bank is notified of the transaction by the broker and the bank deducts the amount and transfers those 2 lakh rupees back to the broker. So now my current balance in the PIS account is 3 lakh rupees and the same is reflected in my trading platform. As you can see in this whole transaction of buying shares as an NRI, I have operated across 3 different accounts: an NRE or NRO account, a PIS account and a brokerage account. You can choose to open either an NRE account or an NRO account to purchase shares, but you don't need both these accounts. So the next thing that you need to understand is the primary difference between an NRE and an NRO account. To make it much simpler, you just have to remember 2 fundamental rules that differentiate between an NRE and an NRO account. One being the source of income. If the source of income is in India, then you can only transfer money into an NRO account. For instance, I have a property in India that generates monthly rent. and I can only transfer that amount into my NRO account. In the future, if I decide to sell that property, then the amount can only be transferred into an NRO account. The reason being, the source of income here is India. In case of a salary which is in dollars, I can transfer this into both an NRE or an NRO account. The second primary difference is the tax component. You have to pay tax for an NRO account and you don't have to pay any tax for an NRE account. For instance, if the capital in my account, that is both NRE and NRO account, is generating interest, then I don't have to pay tax to Indian government for the interest earned on an NRE account, but I have to pay tax on an NRO account. Also, there might be some confusion around repatriation of funds, that is, your ability to transfer funds from your NRE or NRO account to the overseas account. Both NRE and NRO provides this capability, but with an NRO account, you need to submit some additional documentation for clearance. Whereas for an NRE account, it is a straight account to account transfer that you can do. So, how does this imply when we are buying shares? Let's look at the scenario of buying and selling shares using an NRE account, and later we'll look at buying and selling shares using an NRO account. So during this financial year, I have done some transactions of buying and selling shares, that is from 1st of March to 31st of April. I have bought and sold these shares and have generated a profit of 5 lakh rupees. This amount will be in your NRE account and can be repatriated back to your overseas bank. So as I was mentioning earlier, since it is an NRE account, you don't have to pay any additional tax to the Indian government here. All the profits that you have generated are yours to keep. So now let's have a look at the same scenario of buying shares with an NRO account. Again, during the financial years, I have bought and sold some shares which have generated 5 lakh rupees in profit. But the amount that you will see in the NRO account will be less than 5 lakhs. Unlike an NRE account where you get to keep the whole amount to yourself, when you trade with an NRO account, the amount will be taxed at the source. So the amount that is deposited in your account will be less than 5 lakhs. This is because the broker has to tax you at the source. So you may end up paying more tax or get a refund based on your income. But as you observe here, the primary difference is you need to pay the tax to the Indian government on the profit you have earned. Also, if you want to repatriate the amount back to your overseas bank, you need to get the clearance by submitting the forms 15CA and 15CB. Now that you know the primary difference between an NRE and NRO account for your trading, you can use this information to decide whether you want to invest through an NRE account or an NRO account. So the next account is PIS account. PIS stands for Portfolio Investment Scheme. When you request your bank to open an account, the bank will submit required documentation to RBI seeking PIS letter. You cannot open a PIS account without an NRE or NRO account. So the bank by default will open one account on your preference. See, the whole structure of PIS is aimed to prevent you from opening multiple PIS accounts and also restricts you from investing more than 10% in a particular company. Also, in future, if you decide to change your banks, you need to get a PIS discharge letter or NOC from the bank. Then only using that letter, you will be able to open a new account with that bank. Now that we understand what an NRE, NRO and a PIS account mean, let's have a look at the brokers and their charges for an NRI. Your trading cost as an NRI is more expensive if you compare that to a local demat account, as it includes the PIS charges apart from the normal trading charges that you need to pay. So when you choose your broker, you need to consider both charges. The table below reflects the trading charges with different brokers. I can tell you that there are a lot more brokers than what you're seeing here. This is just a sample of data. The primary problem that I have faced is a lot more difficulty in getting transparent fees and charges from different brokers. So I strongly recommend you to contacting them directly before you finalize your broker. The primary trading charges that you need to consider from any brokers is the account opening fee, the transaction fee, and the annual maintenance charge AMC. For instance, with Zerodha, it will cost you 500 rupees to open an account and 200 rupees to trade. Of all the lists that you see here, that is the cheapest discounted broker. But you will not be able to open or trade with just Zerodha account. As an NRI, you need to open a PIS account with a bank and link it up with your Zerodha account. And again, as mentioned earlier, a PIS bank account also needs an NRE or an NRO account. As of today, Zerodha is supporting three banks, which is IndusInd, HDFC, and Axis. In the past, they used to support S Bank as well, but they no longer support it. So apart from trading charges from brokers like Zerodha or a demat account charges from full service brokers like HDFC, you also need to consider PIS account charges. Of the banks that provide PIS account charges, it looks like IndusInd is the cheapest with no charges across account opening, transaction, and AMC. But again, there might be other banks that offer PIS accounts, which is something that you need to actually investigate and see if there is anything that really fits to what you exactly looking for. From all these PIS accounts, it looks like IndusInd is the best bank to open an account. I personally am not with IndusInd at this stage, but I will explain later as to whom I am trading with and also my experience and the challenges that I am facing. At first, decide which broker you want to trade with. If your choice is a full service broker like ICICI Bank, they will provide you better end-to-end service compared to discount brokers. And also, you will pay a bit more for the service as well. It is a little bit different with discount brokers as the PIS account is with a bank and your trading account is with them. You will find that they are little or not engaged with you until you show them the PIS letter. So if you choose a discount broker like Zerodha, I suggest you to start your account opening process with a PIS bank. For instance, you choose to open your PIS account with Axis Bank, then contact them, ask them that you need to open a PIS account. They will open NRE NRO account and also a PIS account. At the end of the process, they will give you a PIS letter. Now take this PIS letter and approach Zerodha to open an NRI account. So Zerodha will not even provide you a courier service unlike your full service broker. All the work that you do is at your own cost. So you need to send the documents by courier to their office in Bangalore. Once they receive all the documents, they will open an account and link that account to your PIS account based on the letter that you have provided. So I can tell you that the whole process of opening an NRI account is very time consuming, but I can also tell you that it is well worth the reward you get from investing. I have opened my trading account with Zerodha and PIS account with S Bank last year. The account opening process itself was not smooth with both Zerodha and S Bank. While with Zerodha, I felt they are not really interested in NRI business and they are not keen due to the process and the documentation that they have to manage even after you open an account and start trading. The problem with S Bank was the customer service was so poor and I found there was no ownership on the process itself. While I was opening my NRI accounts, S Bank was the cheapest option available for me at that point of time. But today, Zerodha has stopped linking trading accounts with S Bank due to the problems that you see with the bank itself. At least that's what the lady on the call told me. They have now replaced the S Bank option with IndusInd. Personally, I am also not happy with S Bank and I want to move away from S Bank considering the administration process that happened late last year and also the fees and charges that they charge compared to the IndusInd. So I have decided to close my PIS account with this bank and as part of this process, I made multiple attempts to contact the bank itself. So every time I'm stopped at the NRI department and they seems to have no phone number to PIS account team itself and also they don't even reply to my emails. So there I am, stuck with these guys for now. I want to chase them up seriously once the COVID situation clears out. Okay, so finally, before I wrap up, I also want to tell you the one other main reason why I chose Zerodha. It was not brokerage fees as such, but they have a GTT feature. It is very important for my trading. Check their website if you want to know more about it and also something that you want to use as part of your trading. I will also be posting updates on what I am trading in Indian markets. Please subscribe and like this video for regular updates.